Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer, shall we? We're going to uncover the hidden battleground right beneath Pelham's homes, where nature is literally constantly fighting against human engineering. You know, we usually don't even think about what happens behind our walls or under our floorboards until, well, something goes terribly wrong. But right beneath your feet, an absolutely incredible, invisible war is taking place every single day. And the reality of this hidden war? It is high stakes. Our source material points out a terrifying fact. Water damage happens in minutes. When plumbing fails, it doesn't just politely give you a 2-week notice so you can get your affairs in order. No way. A burst pipe or a backed up sewer line can turn your safe haven into a disaster zone in the absolute blink of an eye. We're talking about this because understanding the threat is kind of the only way to prevent that sudden catastrophic damage. So let's jump right into Section 1, Nature versus Your Pipes. We're going to see how environmental forces that are totally unique to Shelby County are straight up declaring war on local infrastructure. So, what exactly is secretly destroying your pipes? I really want you to ask yourself this, because peeling back the layers reveals some pretty surprising hyperlocal antagonists. Actually, scratch that. They aren't just antagonists, they're relentless. It's not just about the age of your house. It's the specific environment of Pelham itself that's the main instigator in this daily battle. We are looking at a combination of intense environmental stressors that are totally unique to this area. First up, the notorious Alabama red clay. This dense soil acts like a giant sponge. It violently expands when it's soaked from heavy rains, and then, boom, it aggressively contracts during those summer dry spells. This constant shifting is literally crushing and pulling apart your underground pipes. Then you've got thirsty roots from mature oaks and pines over near Oak Mountain. During hot, dry summers, those roots are on a mission, aggressively seeking out the moisture inside your sewer lines, pushing through microscopic cracks just to get a drink. Add in those sudden, unexpected winter freezes that cause exposed pipes to expand and burst. You've got a perfect storm of infrastructure stress. If you live around here, your home is fighting these elements 365 days a year. Moving on to Section 2, the hard water problem. Because listen, this war isn't just happening out in the dirt. There's a relentless, invisible chemical battle happening right inside the pipes themselves. Now, let's talk about the exact chemical makeup of this threat, the stuff that's slowly choking your water pressure and wrecking your appliances. Hard water is simply water that's really high in calcium and magnesium. And yeah, while it is perfectly safe to drink and bathe in, those heavy minerals are absolute kryptonite to your plumbing system. They act like microscopic barnacles. Slowly but surely, they accumulate inside your pipes, narrowing the pathways and heavily scaling the interior of your water heaters. Over time, this is going to massively reduce your home's water pressure and overall efficiency. To put that into perspective, let's look at how this relentless mineral assault impacts the lifespan of a typical tank water heater. In year 1, everything is shiny and new, right? It's operating at peak efficiency. But from years 2 to 7, that hard water drops a constant heavy rain of sediment right to the bottom of the tank. So your heater starts working way harder just to heat the exact same amount of water. Efficiency drops, and your energy bills start creeping up. Finally, by years 8 to 12, the corrosion totally takes over. At this stage, it's really not a matter of if the unit will break down and flood your garage, but when. Okay, let's shift to Section 3, Anatomy of an Emergency. Let's look at what actually happens when nature wins a battle, turning all that long-term invisible wear and tear into a full-blown, panic-inducing Sunday night crisis. It is absolutely crucial to connect the visceral panic of a home emergency directly to its hidden geological root cause beneath your foundation. For example, when you turn on the tap and see rusty, discolored water, the hidden cause is likely galvanized pipe corrosion happening deep within your walls. Hearing weird gurgling sounds coming from your toilet? Yeah, that's usually not a minor clog. It's a massive tree root intrusion completely blocking your main sewer line out in the yard. And that crusty white residue on your shower head? That is the classic telltale sign of hard water mineral buildup. Recognizing these symptoms early is literally the key to stopping a minor hiccup from becoming a total catastrophe. And timing is everything here. Older neighborhoods, especially those near Pelham City Park, are currently ground zero for these specific emergencies. Homes built in the 1980s and 1990s are hitting that critical age of infrastructure failure right now. The original materials they used decades ago just cannot hold out any longer against the relentless local soil shifts and those aggressive water conditions. So if your home falls into this age bracket, you are standing right on the front line of this invisible war. But don't panic just yet. Section 4, the professional playbook. Fortunately, there's a specialized task force out there. Let's explore the professional countermeasures used to fight back and actually solve these crises permanently. Professionals completely eliminate the guesswork and restore order using a really simple three-step repair process. Step 1 is fast diagnosis. They're sending high-tech, waterproof cameras directly into the drain lines so they can actually see the exact location of those tree roots or structural cracks. No guessing involved. Step 2 is expert repair work, where they utilize modern parts specifically rated to withstand Alabama's challenging conditions. And finally, Step 3 is testing and cleanup. They make sure that once the battle is won, the system actually holds up under high pressure, leaving your home spotless. To fight back permanently, we need a serious material evolution. Modern, code-compliant plastics and copper are completely replacing the failing metals of the past. The old guard, stuff like galvanized steel and cast iron, were incredibly prone to internal corrosion and literally snapping under soil pressure. Today, professionals are fighting back using flexible PEX piping that can actually expand and withstand those sudden freezes. They're using copper for pristine water supply lines and highly durable Schedule 40 PVC for sewer lines that absolutely won't rust away in the damp clay. It's a total game changer. Now, because burst pipes and sewer backups definitely do not respect regular business hours, fighting back requires a 24/7 response. When water is spraying across your living room or raw sewage is backing up into your bathtub, every single minute counts to stop permanent structural damage, mold growth, and massive financial loss. That round-the-clock availability, it's not a luxury, it is an absolute structural necessity. All right, let's wrap things up with Section 5, Protecting Your Plumbing Investment. We've talked all about the war, but what are the proactive steps you can actually take to fortify your home before nature breaches your defenses? By deploying some smart defensive strategies, you can actively protect your property from the local elements. Start with scheduling annual maintenance just to get ahead of the problem before it spirals. Follow that up by having your water heater flushed yearly to clear out that destructive Pelham sediment we talked about earlier. You should definitely also invest in periodic camera exams to catch those invasive tree roots while they're still small, way before they crush your main lines. And to tackle the chemistry side of things, consider adding a whole house water softener. Neutralizing those hard water minerals before they even enter your home is basically like putting a protective force field around your entire plumbing system. It literally extends its life by years. So I'll leave you with this somewhat provocative thought to consider about the hidden infrastructure of your own home. Are your pipes a ticking time bomb, or are you prepared for Pelham's invisible war? Being proactive is really the only way to ensure your house remains a safe sanctuary rather than a casualty. That concludes our explainer of these totally fascinating local environmental challenges. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and stay curious.